So it's really my pleasure to be here joining with you. And I had initially wanted to come to go to the powwow in Santa Ynez. Anybody go to the powwow? Oh, you did? Yeah, okay. Anyway, I had a few more days in Santa Barbara, so I thought I'd reach out to maybe some Zen centers to volunteer at doing something. So Ninzen and Pamela replied and said, hey, what are your skills? So I gave her my spiel. And she said, well, why don't you do a Dharma talk? So here I was thinking maybe I was going to do some office work or house cleaning or whatever. But yeah, I really much rather do a Dharma talk, to be quite honest. Okay. So that's how it all turned out. So I'm really pleased to be here to speak to you. I've been wanting to promote Do-In, self-massage. I call it mindful self-massage. And there's a couple of reasons why I'm so excited about it. Not to say also that it's a very simple technique and you don't have to pay a lot of money to learn it, so that's good. But the overriding reasons have to do with, number one, health, and number two, spiritual development. Okay? So let me address the benefits of health first. You may have heard of the term qi, which is the Chinese term for the vital energy that runs in your body. The acupuncturists are basically manipulating their needles so that we can balance the qi and remove any blockages in the qi. In traditional Chinese medicine, they say that most diseases are a result of a blockage or an imbalance in that qi flow. Okay? So in Tai Chi classics, they say where the mind goes, the qi goes. Okay? In traditional Chinese medicine, they say where the qi goes, the blood goes. Okay? So when we're doing Do-In, we bring our attention to these spots in our body. When we bring our attention there, the qi will gather and the blood will gather. So that we're going to have good qi circulation, good blood circulation, nutrients are getting to those cells, oxygen to the cells, removing toxins, and carbon dioxide. Your body's going to be feeling really good if you do this to your whole body. And what I think is very simple is you giving attention to your body. What happens when we give attention to something, like, say, your plants, or your pets, or your work? What happens? Yes, it's great. So why aren't we doing this more with our body? We've been with this thing for, at least a few decades, most of us. So why not give it this razor-sharp attention that we can do through Do-In? That's what it really amounts to. Okay. So I'm kind of dedicating my life to feel the qi, cultivate the qi from the top of my head to the tips of my toes, from the surface of my skin deep into my bones. Light it up all the way. Create this aliveness within this qi flow. Feels pretty good, guys. So that's what I wanted to turn you on to. Okay. So let's look at the spiritual aspects of Do-In. Actually, if you've been to my website, doin.us, you may notice that I pretty much mention only the health aspects of Do-In. And that's because I never really got to see the spiritual benefits until I came across these two books recently. Okay? One of them is called The Path of Aliveness. It's written by Christian Dillo, D-I-L-L-O. He happens to be a Zen teacher in the Soto tradition, as you guys are. He was a monastic for 20 years, and now he's the guiding teacher at the Boulder Zen Center. Okay? But he also teaches Qigong, a form of Qigong, which is about Qi cultivation. In his book, he talks about this buzz of aliveness, and I haven't discussed it with him. I intend to, because we've been in communication. But this buzz of aliveness is this thing that I call qi, feeling that qi in your whole body. He also goes further and talks about this felt sense in the body, a sort of a bodyfulness, if you will, that has a certain kind of knowing to it. And I kind of think of it like kind of like a gut feeling, you know, a gut feeling that you have. And what he's saying is that when you have this, you know, bodyfulness or this felt sense, you can know things that are maybe not real conceptual and maybe not what you would normally put together rationally. But it's knowing on the level of right action, like, you know, with the Eightfold Path, right action at that level. Okay, so this is what he described in this book. Another book that I came across is by a gentleman, Reginald Ray. He's from the Choyen Trungpa Rinpoche, the Tibetan Buddhists, along the Kagyu Nyingma lines. And he's giving 6 basic somatic meditations that get you in touch with your, quotes, soma with a big S, soma. This kind of like a subtle energetic body that we have. Right? And he makes a claim, it's pretty, that the Dzogchen tradition is the type of Tibetan Buddhism, that true enlightenment can only be found in the body and nowhere else. Okay, that's, you know, that's a little bit extreme for me, actually. You know, I kind of like a little more balanced approach, you know. But anyway, he's making this claim with this kind of thing. And so it kind of brings to bear, you know, this emphasis on the body. So in summary, you could say the spiritual aspects have to do with when you're feeling your body, you're really brought into the now. If you're not feeling, you know, where else can you feel it? It's in the now, right? Okay. And also, you're bringing your attention away from your discursive thinking, the ruminating mind. You know, you kind of calm down. You're just there. You know, you're being in a non-conceptual space. Okay? You're not thinking of your usual self. Okay? And then Zen, I'm sure, is trying to get you all to get away from that self, that sort of ego construct that we have. And isn't that really you when you feel it? Isn't that really you? That's really you on a different scale, perhaps, you know? Okay? So in general, it's also this, again, this whole thing of the knowing aspect is involved there in this somatic relationship that you're having during this meditation. So you could say that the Greek word holos kind of sums it up in the derivatives of health, holiness, and the whole, W-H-O-L-E, the body and the mind. So that's kind of how the spiritual benefits are. And in your case, I don't know your tradition really well, but this Kinhen is kind of your part of the somatic meditation, if you will, when you're doing your walking, right? You've got to be aware of that. Even the Zazen focus on the breath is kind of bringing you more to that body kind of sensation as well. I'm aware that, for example, there's a sect in Hawaii, in the Rinzai sect, at this place called Chozenji, and they put a lot of emphasis into the body. You know, a lot of emphasis into the body. So they do a lot of martial arts and archery and all these body type of things, you know, Tai Chi. So, you know, there's different approaches to the whole thing of the path to enlightenment. And, you know, the trending things now are somatic meditation, embodiment. There's a website, embodimentunlimited.com, where they have all these different ways of you getting into your body. So, something for you to consider as we're doing this doing. Okay. Have any questions right now? Ask. If not, let's do some doing. Okay. So tonight, there's 2 things I would like you to get out of this doing presentation. One is I would like you to feel the chi. That would be really nice. Feel the chi, because it seems like it's this intangible thing, right? The other thing is I would like you to find some gold. Find some gold. What do I mean by finding gold? there's spots in your body that you may not have visited in a long time, and they may be a little achy, maybe a little tender, but that's gold. Why is that gold? Because those are the spots that you really need to pay more attention to. And if you do, and you work on them, then they won't be so achy or painful. So that's what I hope you get out of today. Okay, let's rub our hands together. Okay, get it really warm. Okay, and then bring your hands apart. And you should feel some kind of an afterglow. Huh? Okay. If there's anybody that doesn't feel an afterglow, I can certainly assist you. I don't like having to do that, but you know, if it's necessary, you know, I can help out. You know. Anybody having trouble? Just work harder. Okay. So that is actually the chi, folks. The thing is that you have to rub your hands together to feel that. But when you do Do-In, or Tai Chi, or yoga, for that matter, these are all different types of somatic meditation, if you will. You can train yourself so that eventually all you need to do is hold your hand out and put your attention in your palm, and you will feel that same little buzz or warmth or tingling, or whatever it is we're feeling, without having to rub your hands together. It takes training, like you know anything else. You have to train yourself to get to that level, but it's available to you if you work out, kind of thing. Okay, so let's start out with the arm. So we're going to do Do-In on one arm, not the other arm, because we want to compare the benefits of the Do-In in that arm and against the arm that doesn't have the Do-In. Okay? So let's start with our thumb or fingers. Just press the sides and tops and bottoms of your fingers on. Let's go, all the fingers. Yeah? And remember, you've got to put your mind there. You know, think of it like you're exploring. You know? This is something that you haven't done really ever, maybe. So you might discover something. Huh? If there's a little achiness in the joints, that could be the beginnings of arthritis, perhaps. You might as well know about it now rather than wait till it gets to be more severe, you know? Okay? And you can, like, put your nails in the tips of your fingers. That's usually pretty sensitive. Kind of wake them up. Okay, then we're going to do the 6 points, call it the source points in the arm, okay? These source points could be thought of as like the origin of a stream of energy. You know, they call it the meridians in Chinese medicine, these streams of energy. So they're where they begin. And so we're going to start with the large intestine point. Some of you might be familiar with this one. They use it for headaches, toothaches, and that kind of thing. It's called the Hoku point, large intestine 4. Okay. And it should be a little tender, guys. So if anybody doesn't feel it, you know I can help you. Feel it. Anybody needs some help with that? Okay. Okay, then we go up from the 4th finger up where the wrist bends here. This is called the triple warmer point. Triple warmer point. Kind of there. So yeah, it's not really exciting for me, to be quite honest. Nothing going on much there, but it's important. Then we get to the side of the hand here, and it's kind of right on the edge here, the small intestine 4. Small intestine 4. That should be a little tender for most people. Yeah, a little something. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay.
What are you calling it? The small what?
Small intestine.
Intestine.
Yeah, small intestine. Yeah.
Okay. I thought you said that.
Yeah, these are all the points in acupuncture points. They're acupuncture. Okay, then you turn your hand around, and then there's 3 points along the wrist line here. This first point belongs to the lungs. Okay. One in the middle is the pericardium point. And this one on the end here is the heart. Okay. Okay, then let's try to kind of break the grooves between the hand, the hand, grooves in the hands, and the back. Then also in the palm, just kind of press along that groove. And there's a point right in the middle of the hand called the love wound point. So where the energy comes out when you're doing healing with your hand.
If that's really tender, it's.
Well, again, just you found some gold, basically. So you may go back to it, revisit it, and then work on it a little bit, and then hopefully it won't be as tender as you work on it. Okay. Then let's see, maybe I'll this on. Okay, let's do the arm here, and think of like maybe 3 lines on this arm here, and just press along those lines. Okay, and then turn it over, and then think of another 3 lines on this side. Okay. Then if you bend your arm like this, and kind of here's a little crook here, just below it right here is a key point called large intestine 10, and it usually is pretty tender for everybody in general. So it's a tonifying point, they call it. Yeah. So wake yourself up a little bit, get that point. Okay. Now I'm going to ask you to do what I call freestyle. Okay, what is freestyling all about? Freestyling comes from the principle of the whole, meaning that when you have the, say, acupuncture doll with all the lines of meridians and the points on it, it's kind of like a map of the body. And like any map, it's not going to give you the full spectrum of what's in the territory. Okay? So even though I have all due respect to Chinese medicine, I guess what I'm trying to say is that we can go beyond it a little bit and say that there's a lot going on beyond those points that we just pressed. Like in between these 2 bones. Remember, you got 2 bones in your arm here. Did you really remember that? You got 2 bones in there. Remember the chicken wing, right? Yeah, 2 bones. Yeah. Where are those 2 bones? Can you feel them? Where they are? Okay, so that's freestyling. You get in between all those points there. Okay, then let's move on to the elbow, and we're going to hit the tendons below and above, the medial and the lateral on the outside here. Yeah, these are a little tender, I think, most people. A little bit, like little cords, so forth. And then maybe right in the middle here, in the cubital fossa here. Okay. And then in the upper arm, we're going to do 3 lines of points here. So just kind of press. Okay. And then you can do the 3 lines on the outer part, and then I usually kind of grab those like that. Oh, did you find some rolls?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, then we're going to freestyle the upper arm. It's kind of like, see, where was that bone in there? Could be the funny bone in there too. Find it.
Hysterical. You get it.
Okay, then we're going to work on the shoulder. We're going to start with kind of here, there's a diagonal here. Right in there is the lung 1 point. That's usually kind of tender with most people. Here.
What, where?
Here is actually here.
That's the collarbone.
Well, it's not really the collarbone. It runs like this. Yeah, you kind of got it. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Below the collarbone.
Yeah, it's below. Yeah. Okay. Then there's a heart 1 point, and just like stab right into your armpit, right in there. That'll usually wake you up a little bit in there. And then there's a point back here. It's sometimes hard to get to. It's a small intestine 9 point. It's right back here. Should feel a little bit of kind of tenderness there because you don't get back there. Anybody need some help with finding that one? Huh? You got it? Huh?
You can help me.
Okay, sure. That's great.
Or is it here or in here?
Right there. All right, it's right there.
Oh, yeah.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm not sure where that
Okay.
is either. Oh,
Right there.
there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody else need help? Okay, got it? Okay, so let's just kind of do a little freestyling on the shoulder around here. Okay. So now we get to compare. If you hold your arms out, notice the difference in the sensations. Okay.
Loosey-goosey over here.
Yeah. So it's really nice because loosey-goosey is a good term because it means you're more relaxed, and when you're more relaxed, the chi is going to flow more. Okay? That's why when you're doing your meditation, you get more relaxed, and the chi starts to be flowing as well, a lot more. Okay? Very nice. Glad you felt that. Okay, let's move on. Let's work on our head a little bit. So, start with your thumbs and sort of on your upper ridge of the orbit now. Be careful, you've got contact lenses, you don't want to hurt your eyes there. Just on the upper ridge with your thumbs, okay? Then the lower ridge with your forefingers, okay? Then kind of rub your temples. Okay, then your cheekbones. Then the angle of your jaw there. You often have a lot of tension there because we like to bite. Okay. Then along your jawbone, one finger on the top and one under your jawbone. You don't get under the jawbone a whole lot. Not that. Okay. Then I like to do this kind of like a V with my fingers on either side of the ear, kind of rub there. Okay. Then the side of the nose, go up the sides all the way between your eyes. This is a bladder 1 point right here. If you have trouble staying alert doing paperwork, it's a good point to press. Wake up a little bit. And then just the upper and lower part of the lips there. Like that. Okay. Good. Oh, forgot to do the scalp here. You gotta do your scalp. Nice. Okay. And then let's do the back of the head here. Your thumbs. And this should usually be a little bit of tenderness for most of us. I think we're kind of sedentary office type work that we do, so usually a good stimulation to get our brain going there. Okay. Anybody need help with that one? You should feel a little bit of.
I didn't feel any tenderness.
Oh, okay.
I'm afraid of you. I'm really afraid of you.
Not too bad.
Feels good.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Okay.
Here.
Need something? Okay.
Yeah.
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 Okay, good. Okay. All right, so now there's recently been developing what they call ear acupuncture. I think it's only been in the last 50 years or something. But the idea is that the ear has points in it that will relate to the whole body. So I find it valuable I use my nail, scrape her ear, And then all the channels, the troughs and ridges and stuff, you just kind of scrape it. It'll give you stimulation to your whole body. Okay? And pull on, you can pull on your earlobes a bit. And then maybe rub the back of your ears as well. Okay? So with all of that head work right now, you could feel a little bit in sort of an altered state of some sort. Usually when I'm doing this in the daytime with my Tai Chi class, the light, the colors become brighter somehow. That's what happens to me. I don't know if you guys feel any different, but try to tap into that. Yeah? Okay.
My arm hurts.
Okay. But that's good. That's the energy coming through. Yeah, you're getting your goal. You're getting your goal. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh, let's do the neck. Oh, yeah, I like doing the neck. It's kind of turn the head to the side, and then kind of start back here and bring it forward. Forward. There. Okay, then you can press along this line here, just along there. Okay, turn the other side, bring it forward. And then along the line there. Okay, nice. Okay, then we can do the suprasternal notch, like right here. Okay. Then on the edge of the collarbone, the top edge, and then the bottom edge. Okay. And let's rub our sternum. A lot of times if you're emotionally upset, if you just rub your sternum, you'll calm down. Okay. Okay. Then you can rake your ribs. Okay. Then you can get your fingers under your rib cage here. Go all the way down to the side, and then just a point here, the gallbladder 25. That is kind of a nice point.
Is it where your thumbs are? Is it
Yeah, thumbs. Yeah, right on the side.
Gallbladder 25.
Yeah, gallbladder 25. That feel good?
Is it right on the top of the pelvis?
No, it's between the pelvis and the rib cage.
Kind
So,
of waist, right?
kind of, yeah, kind of your waist, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you know, if you press this on somebody, you kind of usually wake them up a little bit, you know.
I think mine's 26.
You gotta get your numbers straight now. Get your numbers straight. Okay, and then maybe let's see. Why don't we just kind of gang up back. So again, this kind of stimulates your adrenals or kidneys. Again, it kind of wakes you up. And we'll just drag it in the day. How are we doing on time? Where to go?
We got another 5. And the last 10 we could do Q&A. How's that? Unless
Whatever. Yeah. So you want about another 5 minutes?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's do the belly then, and then we can just kind of get this midline, press in there. Let's do it maybe 3 times. Okay. Then I usually like to say you have your navel, and there's an inner circle and an outer circle. The inner circle corresponds roughly with your small intestines, the outer circle with the large intestines. So let's press 8 points in a clockwise direction. Let's start with the inner circle. Just press. I like to cup it like this and just press 1 8 points in the circle. Try to go as deep as you can, okay? Because we don't do this a whole lot. And it's nice to get to know your belly a little bit. Okay, let's try the outer circle now. There you go. Okay. So we could do, let's see. Well, I actually forgot to bring my back knob, which is a S-shaped massage tool. Okay. Now, in the usual do-in, they don't use the back knob. Okay? And the reason for that I established was a lot of the do-in practitioners would pair up with the shiatsu practitioners. So the shiatsu practitioners would work on their backs, and the do-in practitioners could work on every other place. Yeah. But I like the back knobber to use to massage the back, because what it does is it gives me the idea of the whole again. That if you can do your whole body, every part of your body, you can't forget the back. The back is very important because, you know, your nerves come up from the back to innervate your whole body, mostly your trunk, and it's really, really valuable. Any of you that have had like shiatsu massage on your back, it's wonderful. It's really great. So that's what I usually include in my do-in. You know, most traditional do-in does not include using the back knobber, but I do. Okay, so that's one thing. Okay, now let's see. Maybe we'll just get you to stand up and we'll work on some of the pelvis here. And we can work on the pubic bone. Okay, it runs right over here. Okay, we can press above it, run up above it, and below it. Yeah. Okay. And then let's kind of run our knuckles in the kind of like the front of our thigh here. Okay, and then kind of in the back a little bit. And then we have our femur. And just kind of press around the femur here. Here, okay? And then we've got our iliac crest, which kind of runs like this. So just try to see if you can kind of go above and below the edge. Just feel that edge where the iliac crest might be. Okay? And then you can press on your tailbone. It's a triangular bone like that. Press on your tailbone. Okay. Alrighty. So I think we accomplished quite a lot. We haven't got to the legs. We just I don't think we have time for the legs, but another time. Or you can certainly go to the website. There's a whole handout on the full massage sequence. Yeah.